This is Bennett, the Great American Broadcast Network, now in its 8th year of talk like you've never heard it before.
Here is Stephen Kravitz. He's in Massachusetts.
Yes.
In Worcester.
Where it's unbearably hot.
Really? It's been
warm. Oh yeah.
It's been warm here too, but today it's kind of nice, although I have the air conditioner on.
Tomorrow's supposed to be 98.
98? I think it's supposed to be 100 down here or something like that. I don't know. You know. But are you enjoying the heat? Oh, you don't have air conditioning.
Right. I got a fan going right over here.
Really? Why don't you get? Well, they're not that expensive. If you got an air conditioner.
I guess you could get one for $125, something like that.
I'd say more like $200.
Is that right?
Yeah, you want something with a lot of fairly decent amount of BTU.
What's BTU?
That's British thermal units.
Meaning what?
Meaning the kind of units thermally that the British enjoy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but no, it's called, that stands for BTU is. The more BTU you get, like I got a 12,000 BTU in my bedroom.
All right.
Okay, and what we do is we turn it on high and we blast it, and it goes out the door, and then it cools the whole hallway and some of the other rooms a little bit.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Now, do you have one in your office?
Yeah, that one is 6,000 BTU. And the one I have in the guest room is 500 BTU because we don't care about our guests that much. 5,000.
Well, isn't that nice?
5,000 BTU.
Okay.
Isn't it wonderful? Have you learned something here about air conditioning?
Yes, I have. I'm going to open up a shop now.
It would just make your life a little more pleasant,
Yeah.
Especially when the heat is like this. Because indoors you get all that humidity. It stays in there.
Right, it's a heavy heat.
Well, I'm having a fight with my wife. Well, what else is new? I'm having a fight with my wife over whether you leave the windows open or you keep them closed. My argument being, well, of course, if you got the air conditioning on, you close the windows. But if you don't have air conditioning, if you close the windows, does that keep the heat from coming in?
It depends. If you get a nice cross breeze, it's good to open the windows.
Yes. Do you have a nice cross breeze?
No.
Okay, then I'd say close the window.
Right, and keep the blinds closed too.
Yes. Yeah. So you live in total darkness.
That's right.
And
except when I'm on the air with you, and then I turn on the lights.
And except when you're working at Lowe's, you're in total darkness there too.
Yeah. Oh well.
They treating you good?
I gotta work tomorrow.
Yeah. Do they give you, since you're part-time, do they give you a medical at all?
I'm not sure. I'll have to check on that.
Yeah. They, I hear all that. Do you hear that noise?
No.
You don't hear it? Oh, okay, because I can hear it in my earphones, so I think maybe the audience hears it. They are pointing the building. And they're working on the courtyard now. You know what pointing is?
That's where they remove the cement and they put new cement in.
Right, between the bricks. Every brick in this building. And this building is a huge building.
How long have they been working on it?
They've been working on, they did the outside before they did the courtyard. And the outside got done in about, I would say, 6 months, something like that. You know?
Imagine doing that day in and day out.
Yeah, day in and day out. So they did the outside, and they're through with that now, I think, because I haven't seen them working on it at all. And, we've got this big shelter that goes around the building, in case they drop a brick or something, it doesn't hit somebody.
Right.
Right? And then they got the whole courtyard done with this whole thing. I mean, I wish I could show you. It's pathetic, And this is going on every day. That if people hear it, well, here, if I turn on my mic, let's see here. You hear that? Can you hear it?
No, I can't hear anything.
You can't hear it. Wow, that's amazing. But anyway, that's our thing. They're out there doing that, and when they're through, they'll probably leave a mess behind that the landlords won't remove.
Oh, is that right?
Oh yeah. We don't have the best landlords in the world, but then again, I'm saying the word. You get this, folks? Landlord. And I don't think is your landlord a good landlord?
No.
See, nobody likes the landlord. Landlords are a special breed that wake up in the morning and say, how can I make my tenants more miserable?
Right.
So anyway, so you're working at Lowe's. See,
right.
This is the exciting thing that two old people talk about. That and what's bothering you physically.
Right. What health issues you have?
Well, you know what it is? I don't have the same ability to clear up technical problems. Right? Like my other guys use a thing called Skype instead of Zoom for their shows. Okay?
All right.
And I had Gabnet Live as my Skype, okay? All of a sudden I go onto it one day, it won't let me in. So I asked for a new password.
Right.
And I get a new password. And I use it once or twice, and then it says that password doesn't work. Right? So now I'm trying to figure out why that password doesn't work. So I go back in to get a new password, and they say, you've made too many attempts today, try tomorrow. So I try tomorrow, which I imagine that at like 10 o'clock at night means tomorrow.
Right.
Or maybe the next day. I don't know what tomorrow is. Give me an hour factor, 72 hours, 24 hours, whatever.
Right.
No, tomorrow. So I have tried every day for about 3 days on the tomorrow. And it says, been tried too many times, try again tomorrow.
Don't you just love technology?
And then I can't get into my account. I can't get into that account. I have one other account that I talk to some people on, like Bubbles. And that one seems to work.
Which account do you talk to Bubbles on?
It's just I have two Skype accounts. One for me, A. Bennett, okay. I won't say what it is so people won't call it. And the other is Gabnet Live.
Right.
And now you can't even get two of them anymore. You can't even get one of them, I don't think, anymore. I don't know. And then, here's the crazy part. See, this is what happens today. And forget about me and my technological problems here. But what's driving me crazy, okay, is that there's absolutely no way you can get a hold of Skype.
Oh, that's like you can't get a hold of Facebook.
You can't get a hold of Facebook? I thought there was like a Facebook thing where you could write them. They don't write you back, but really?
Right. There's no way to get in touch with Facebook.
Well, I'm sorry, but like I have a technical problem here, and I think it's a problem. I think it's a problem on their side. I think they're broken.
Right.
And they don't know it, but they're not going to know it because they're not getting any mail from people saying they're having problems.
Right. Right.
You know, what's with a company like this? This is Microsoft does Skype, okay? And I mean, there's no way to write them a note or to chat with them or to get get some kind of answer. Like, are you having problems? Maybe you're having problems.
Same thing with Facebook. Same thing with Facebook.
Yeah.
My account got hacked, and I asked for a new password, and they sent me emails that didn't exist, and they said they would send it to these emails, and they weren't my emails, so I can't get back in.
Oh, boy.
I don't know. Somebody changed my password.
Da, 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 da. You know, but here's the thing where I do the new password. Put the new password in.
Right.
I won't tell people what it is, but I put the new password in. And then I tried to sign in, and it signed in. Later on that evening, I went to another machine, tried to sign into it, and it wouldn't sign me in. And it wouldn't sign me in on the old machine, the one I'm on right now. And it wouldn't sign me in on another machine I had. And I went, what happened? I changed the password. And it says, that's not the password. Yes, it is. So, but the problem here, folks, is not that I can't get my password to work. Forget about that. That's a technical issue. The answer to this question is, I can't get a hold of anybody to fix it. Okay?
Right.
Or to tell me what I'm doing wrong.
Right.
I can't even write, if I could write somebody and I could get an answer. The only thing I got an answer for is that they said, here, fill this out and we will see if it's your account, and if it is, we'll give you a way to change your password. Which I'm sure they'll send me, and I'm sure I will change my password, and I'm sure it won't work.
Right.
It's just ridiculous. It's just absolutely absurd. What are you gonna do? And it's the same way with a lot of businesses too. Insurance companies you can get a hold of.
Yes.
They do have a number you can call. You'll wait forever, but you can call.
Right.
Okay. I have my site is on GoDaddy. I can call them. I can get some response on that. But I mean, others, it is just impossible. And I have been suffering with this problem, and I suffered with a problem getting my email for a week. And that wasn't working, and now I got it working. Oh, thank God,
Right.
You got my email yesterday, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's working. But it took me 3 days to get it working. And I'm going, this is ridiculous. At my age, I can't put up with too much of this. The strain's getting to me. I'm exhausted. It could kill me.
Only if you let it.
Only if you let it. Well, only if you let it. Well, I just think it's ridiculous. But
Like I just let Facebook go.
You just let them go? Yeah. I would have let them go a long time ago because I don't like them. They're a terrible company.
Right.
Google is slightly better. I do all my video and stuff through Google.
You do?
Through YouTube, yeah. And they never answer. If I have problems, I write them. They have a place where you can write. I never get an answer, but I can write them. Their attitude is, well, you know something? Let them write us, because that'll make them feel good.
Right.
But it doesn't mean we have to answer them.
Right.
So, I mean, come on. I like the old, something, I really like the old analog days.
Oh, yeah.
Where if you had a problem with your bank account, you went down to your bank and you talked to somebody, and they solved whatever problem you had. You didn't usually call the bank. You went to the bank.
Right.
So maybe it was a little more effort, but, it's good for you. It's good to get out and take a walk and go to the bank and socialize with people. And then they were really nice. And if you opened up a new account with them, you got a free toaster.
Huh. Those days are long gone.
What happened to the free toaster?
I guess we made enough toast.
Now you go to a bank. Here's the part I hate about a bank. I don't know about you. Do you bank?
I have a credit union.
You have a credit union. Oh, where'd you get a credit union? Through who?
SAG-AFTRA.
Oh, really? You know, somebody told me I should put all my money in there. You know, that I'd just be better off.
They're really good.
Yeah. And you get interest on it?
Yes.
What kind of interest?
Oh, very little.
Okay.
But I don't have a lot of money in there.
I had $50,000 in my bank account. Okay,
Really?
at one point. It's diminished over the years. Now that I'm in my fixed income stage,
Right.
you know, so I had $50,000 in there, and I had signed up for this thing where you get a little higher interest on your account, and I looked at it, $50,000. My interest was, I think, $3. And when I did away with that on 50,000, my interest was, I think, 75 cents.
Oh, yeah.
Now, what happened to the days? I mean, I don't know when it disappeared, but you used to have money in savings, and it used to get about 5% per year.
Right.
Okay? What happened to that?
The banks don't give a shit.
Yeah. I mean,
The banks don't care.
all they want is money.
Right. B of A is the worst.
But the reason I'd like to get paid something a little more than like half of a percent of a percent of a percent or whatever it is because I'm lending the bank money.
That's right.
I'm not taking it from them. I'm not borrowing it from them. I am giving it to them, and they invest it. And the longer they have my money, the more they can do with it.
That's right.
You know, so that really bothers me. Really bothers me. I don't know what to do. You know.
There's nothing you can do.
I guess.
What can you do? What can you do?
There's nothing I can do. So
Check out the SAG-AFTRA Federal Credit Union.
I mentioned that to my business manager, and he seemed to go, "Well, I don't know," And I somehow just think that, at least my money is going to be a lot safer there than it's going to be at Bank of America, who is always riddled with one controversy after another.
Right. Right. And don't they have a lot of fees? Bank of America?
They do. If you were to bounce a check, I haven't bounced a check in years. Okay.
Right.
Gary makes sure of that I never bounce a check. But in the bouncing of the check area, I haven't bounced a check. But if you bounce a check, I think it's something like $25-50, something like that.
Oh yeah, easily. It's the bank charges you $25, and then the person who you bounce the check to, they get charged $25, so it's $50, or it used to be.
And that's if you even bounce a check on $10.
Right.
Wow, that's amazing. I don't get that. That makes no sense.
I was with Bank of America for like a week.
Oh, okay.
And I had this check coming in that was to cover my expenses. Mm-hmm. So I wrote checks against it. And then the check came in, and I went to Bank of America, and they said, we're going to bounce all your checks because the check came in later than the ones you wrote. So it cost me like $100 in bounced checks. And that was my last dealings with. I ended up with Bank of America by mistake. Bank of America kept buying up the bank that I was with.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, that's what happened with me. I was with, I think it was Chemical. And then they changed to something else for a short time, and then all of a sudden they were bought up by Bank of America.
Right.
Which, I've done business with before in the old days. That and Wells Fargo out in California. But, so I didn't mind it. But, I mean, they do nothing for you. They do nothing for you. They just take and take and take and take and take. And I finally went into the bank one day and I said, really? Only like 75 cents on $50,000? And they went, well, that's what we charge. I'm sorry about that. You can get one of these things that'll give you more interest. One of these interest-bearing accounts with, I don't know, whatever investment house they own now.
Right.
And I said, no thanks, because last time I did that, it would have been $3 on $50,000.
How much did you expect it to be?
5%. I mean, that's what I used to get.
Yeah, that's when. How many years ago is that?
I can put that under my mattress, lose a tooth, and the tooth fairy will pay me more.
How much does the tooth fairy pay these days?
The tooth fairy used to be, how much was the tooth fairy? The tooth fairy used to be 25 cents, didn't the tooth fairy?
That's right, a quarter.
A quarter. I think, from what I understand from a friend who has a kid, the tooth fairy is now $10 a tooth.
$10?
Yeah, that fucking tooth fairy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, tooth fairy got rich.
Yeah, and did you ever see the tooth fairy?
No.
Okay, fine. I never did either. All I know is I wake up in the morning and the tooth was gone and there was a quarter.
And there was a quarter.
Yeah. And then I go down to Bank of America and invested, and in a year I'd have 30 cents. But that's not, 27 and a half cents. Yeah, 27
right.
and a half cents. But no more. No more. But, I mean, it was just, you're not as old as I am. You're 67 now, I think?
66.
66. I keep saying 67. Eventually I'll be right.
Eventually, yeah, you will be.
Yeah. When's your birthday?
March.
March. Okay, I'll remember in March that you've turned 67. But anyway,
How old is Bubbles? How old is Bubbles?
I think Bubbles is 67. I think.
Right.
But anyway, so you're about 16 years younger than I am.
Right.
But still, you lived in a simpler time. You grew up in a simpler time.
Much simpler time.
I mean, when you wanted to go to the movies as a kid, did your parents pack you up in the car and drive you down there and say, call us when you're through, or they check when the thing would be over, we'll be waiting for you? Or did we say, see you later?
Right, see you later.
Yeah. I mean, when I was a kid, my movie theater was a mile away, and I go, I'm going to go to the Saturday matinee. Okay, be back by dinner.
Right.
Right? And I'd walk down there. No, but today, parents wouldn't think of letting their kid walk to the movie theater.
Well, it's a more dangerous time.
I don't know that it wasn't a more dangerous time then. We just didn't have the mass communications to make it look like it was the worst of times.
That could be. You could be right there.
Because every time you turn on your TV, you said, oh, kid got kidnapped in Modesto, blah, 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 blah.
Right.
Breaking news, kid kidnapped in Modesto. So, I mean, times have, what's changed is the media, which has overdone it for us.
Right. I think that's why there's so many mass shootings. They get a lot of publicity.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So
they're famous for a minute.
Yeah. So why? I wonder if they didn't cover them if there'd be more mass shootings, or the same amount.
I don't know. I mean, they have to cover them, but do they have to mention who the shooter was?
Well, do they? My question is, if they said we're not going to mention those anymore. They may happen. It may be terrible. 20, 50 people might get killed. We're not going to cover them. And if you don't cover them, will people do them? Or do people do them because the media covers it? So their grievance will be heard,
I think part of it is because the media will cover it.
Yeah. But when we were kids, it was just a simpler time. And I hate to sound like an old person, but Jesus, when you're a kid, there isn't a lot of complications,
Right.
But I had no real complications. I had a very, very good childhood growing up in Marin, and I didn't have a computer. We didn't have a television set till I was 11 or 12.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, yeah. I grew up on radio.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, that's why I did those things like Supper with Schwartzman and stuff, because the kind of thing I would listen to was that.
Right.
Hey, listen, I just looked at the old clock on the wall, and we've run out of time.
Is that right?
Yeah. Talk to you next time.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's who he be. That's Stephen Kravitz. Bye, Stephen.
Bye, Alex.
The Great American Broadcast Network, now in its 8th year of talk like you've never heard it before.
Do you think we can try that again?
This is GabNet, the Great American Broadcast Network, now in its 8th year of talk like you've never heard it before.
Oh, boy. I can't have one night where things don't go wrong. But sometimes I have things go like they're going tonight, where there is nobody waiting to go on. And quite frankly, since I don't have a show going on after me tonight, I just might sign off right now. I'll give it like 2 minutes for people to call, and if they don't, I'm out of here. I got other things to do. I've got fires to put out. I tell you, I had a shock tonight. My business manager sends me the latest bill from Verizon, which does this service. Okay, it takes care of my internet, and so I have a pretty expensive plan. But I switched it a while back because they told me, well, we're getting out of the old plan, and we're getting into a new plan. And we're getting into a new pair of plans, a suit with 2 pairs of plans. Yeah. What is wrong with my lighting here? Is my thing fringing here? Well, anyway. I get a thing from my business manager. He says, "What's this?" And he got the latest bill for my Verizon internet and cable, and it's let me see here. Let me see if I can get it straight. All right, it was $301. Now they told me it was going to be $265 if I changed over to this newer plan, and I went over to it, and they said they were the old plan that I was on was being done away with, and they just had to bring me up to the new plan. And would I sign up for the new plan? And here's how much it was going to cost me. It was going to cost $265 a month. So I go, okay, what the hell? It's less than I had before. Then they informed me that I wasn't getting HBO Max. So I noticed that the phony phone they put on here, these little phones they have, you know what I'm talking about, right? Just phones. That was costing me $25 a month. So I said, it's costing me $25 a month. Cancel that. Give me the HBO Max, which I'm not getting on this new plan. So that brought me down somewhere again in the region of $265 a month. I mean, that's a lot to be paying for cable, but I got 5 cable boxes, and they're all they're charging me for those. Those are $42 a month. It goes on and on and on. But anyway, all things considered, I get a bill this month for $301. And I'm going crazy about this, because why is it $301? What? They told me it was going to be $265. So I get a hold of them. The only way you can get a hold of them this time of night is on a chat. And I said, well, how much is this supposed to be costing me a month? And she went and looked at it, and she said, $265 a month. And I went, oh, okay, so why this? Oh, well, that's an extra charge because you got rid of services. What? I'm being charged because they're upgrading me to something else. That's what they did. Okay? Brian, I saw you there, and now you disappeared. You were the only person calling the program. Anyway, so I said, they said no, they said $47 or something. I don't know, $42. That's a one-time charge for changing plans and so on. And so, okay. Then she says, I have good news for you. All right. And I said, what's the good news? She says, you're getting unlimited cloud every month for $5 a month. And I said, well, I don't know if I want it. And she says, it's already in your plan. When I don't even want the cloud. I've got all kinds of cloud things everywhere doing my stuff, right? It just really ridiculous. But anyway, I said, okay, I'll take it. If I'm being forced to take it, I'll take it. I'll spend the $5 a month for unlimited cloud. My God, how big is that? I'm going to put everything I've got on my computer on the cloud, just to take up as much of their cloud as is humanly possible. And if any of you have stuff you want to put up on my cloud, give me a call. We'll just somehow figure out a way to put it up there. But anyway, so where did Brian go? He was the only person calling, and now I don't have Brian sitting there. And I was just finishing what I was saying, and then I was going to go to you, Brian. But I guess it's not. We're not getting a call from Brian, and we're not getting a call from anybody else. I don't know what's happening out there. Maybe the West Coast disappeared or something. But there are a lot of people that always call me about this time of night that I can depend on, like Alan and Brian, and sometimes Kevin, and And oh well, here comes Alan. So let's just admit Alan now, just for the hell of it, so that we can get that out of the way. All right. Okay. There we go. Hello, Alan. How are you?
Hello, Alex. People tend to come in a little later.
Well,
on
this
Thursday.
is fucked. Okay, this is fucked. I don't need this. I don't need any of this.
I've heard that every show that I get
Well,
on.
I'm getting to the point where I'm thinking of changing the whole way of the stuff that I'm doing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So, I'll figure that out as I go.
Start charging all of us $25 a year.
Charging you $25 a year. Yeah. What was amazing with this Verizon is that she tells me, I've got good news for you. You're going to get to pay $5 more a month. I mean, how's that good news? But I get, it's a $20 a year, a $20 a month rather, extra I'm getting, where I can have unlimited cloud. Okay. Now, I thought about it for a second, and I said, is that a good thing or a bad thing? And then I realized it's kind of a bad thing, okay? Here's how so. Let's say, okay, just for the hell of it, I decide I no longer want Verizon.
Right.
And I want to go just, cut the cord or whatever. What do I lose if I have all my stuff on the cloud? All my stuff on the cloud.
Yep.
Right? So, I've already got what do you call that, a drop box, okay? And I've got like 2 gigs of 2 terabytes of space on there. So I'm doing that, okay? So
Good.
But
That's probably better than a cloud with Verizon.
But these cable companies are just robber barons.
I have Comcast and I have gigabyte speeds because they talked me into it. I'm paying $75 a month. I could do with 100 megabytes of
You know
speed.
something? I wish I were out there because I'm paying $99 for my gigabyte service.
Well, so okay. Well, I'm getting a little cheaper.
Yeah. What kind of plan do you have, Ray? He has the silent plan, the one in which you can't hear him.
Only visual, no audio.
You forgot to plug the mic in.
Yeah. No sound, Ray.
Yeah. Oh, you don't say. You're sending us
Here, now you can probably hear me, right?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
right. This was like an old thing people probably never had, but it was called silent cable. It was called silent internet, where they didn't have sound yet, so you had to make faces at each other and so on. Anybody remember that? Yeah.
I don't know what's wrong with my damn thing. Yeah, I have AT&T fiber.
Well, that fiber isn't working too well tonight. You know.
No, it's because I moved everything on my desk, and I don't know what's wrong.
You're very choppy and not very clear,
You
Rick.
probably got as far away as is humanly possible. From
My audio is?
No, your video is like this, and you're
No,
not.
I know, because I moved the desk and the light sucks, and I haven't figured out how to fix it.
Yeah,
That didn't help.
he has
right.
fiber, but it's only 20 megabytes a second.
No, it's really fast.
Really fast.
Sure it is.
Yeah.
But let me see here. Brian, what kind of service do you have?
Xfinity.
Xfinity. What is Xfinity?
Which is what I have. It's Comcast, Xfinity, same thing.
Oh, I see. Okay. And what is does Xfinity do anything special?
I don't know. We got like one of the top plans, so they can play games. They play Valorant like all night and those type of things. So
well,
I still freeze up on
I'm
this.
paying now, if the bill is correct next month, $269 a month, and I'm just thinking about, I don't know, unless I put everything up on that ultimate cloud, that unlimited cloud. I want to see how much stuff I can put up there, just for the hell of it. I'm just gonna unload everything that's on my TV set, Oh,
Well,
everybody, cool it. Here comes Phil.
Oh
Yeah.
my God, really?
Yeah.
I rushed online because Alex said that nobody's calling it now. Phil's on.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Am I supposed to use Skype tonight to get through?
Yeah. Go back.
I got
cut this down. Restart your computer and go on Skype, and we'll meet you there.
I got the
okay.
I got the Skype working last night. Finally.
Really?
Yeah. I finally got a thing back from Skype saying, "You finally qualified for us to give you new passwords."
Nice.
After giving them your name, a letter I wrote email I wrote to you, what the subject matter was. I mean, it was insane what they wanted out of me.
Yeah, I got pulled with Skype.
You got pulled with Skype, I see.
Gave my name, right?
And with that, I told everybody who's on GabNet, at least it's not going under the knife.
You did that last night.
Yeah, that we are doing away with Skype, and they're just going to use my account,
Right.
and I have a separate account I just opened up with 40-minute limit, and I did that because if I say want to call
Jack Show.
or Damien Show, I can't do it using my account because the minute I sign on with my account, it shuts them off. You get that? Okay, which is fine. Then only one.
Especially if Alan's on.
If only one machine at a time can do it. So I have that second account, so I can then call them.
What do they want for a second paid account, Alex?
Second paid account would be the same as a first paid account. It'd be $155. I think you can get, and I don't understand what they mean by it, but you can get a second license. And I think that means you can have two people at a time using the same account, but I don't know.
Now,
I don't know
what
that
is a
much.
I would call Zoom and find out, but
what
unfortunately,
does a corporation do?
There's no way to call them. What?
Alex, what does a corporation do that has tons of employees?
They buy
and
multiple
have
licenses.
And no, not necessarily. They might have a license that's good for a certain amount of people, and I bet you Rob Alfano would know what the deal is.
But no, I don't think
For
so.
Zoom or for Skype?
I think they have to buy.
For Zoom.
They have to
We have
buy.
Zoom.
They have to buy many licenses for different people to be using that at the same
That's
time.
crazy.
However, there are different plans. I've got a plan where up to 100 people can call right now, and it's on my plan. If I
Never
want
be a
more
problem.
than that, there are ones where you can do 1,000.
Yeah.
You know, and big companies would do 1,000 because maybe they want to do like a webinar. I hate that term. A webinar.
Yeah, we do all hands like that, and then they have to break them up in a couple because I think they only do 500 at a time. And then if you don't get in soon, then you got to hit one the next.
How do you
weekend.
see them all on the screen?
So in the big ones, they don't allow any of that. All you see are the presenters. So you may see one big screen and 3 other people, and then when they present, they go to the big screen.
Okay.
They mute everybody, and then you can only ask questions through another account.
But
So-
but can't you have like all say 400 people
Yeah.
on there, but you
Yeah, I
got to swipe through screens to get
Yeah.
to them. But somebody
Yeah.
who's talking may suddenly be
Yeah, and there are
presenting.
people on with their cameras. I've seen up to like 200 on a couple of the calls, and now they changed that where you can't see who's on at all. But before, yeah, I'd see, you swipe, you see everybody's name, or some people with pictures, some people with video.
Well, I'll tell you, the amazingly creative people during COVID were like there were some musicians from the New York Symphony, right? And they all got together, all like 80 or 90 of them at the same time, and then played symphonic pieces. And it was a full symphony orchestra that was going out over Zoom. There were some very creative ways in which Zoom was being used, you know. So,
Yeah. On America's Got Talent.
Mhm.
Sorry that show, but America's Got Talent. I watched it a little bit, and there's 2 kids on there that met through the COVID, and this is the first time that they were in person together and performed. One
Yes,
was a
I saw-
pianist, and one was a singer.
I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I did
So they
too.
met on the internet during COVID, and it's the first time they performed together.
I found a way you can get through America's Got Talent without having to watch the whole goddamn show.
Same
Go
here.
to YouTube because
Oh.
America's Got Talent posts the best acts or the acts they like right there, so you don't have to wade through bad ones or ones that don't mean anything. You get to see all the good stuff, and that's it. You know.
I always record it, then I just go back and just fast forward through all the sad stories and all this drama
Well,
stuff.
I hate that though.
Yeah, I hate
Yeah,
that. It's worse than the Olympics.
This year, the Olympics, yeah.
Really
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah. Here is a basketball player, what's her name? Griner. What's her name?
Oh yeah,
Grinder.
yeah.
Griner. Yeah. I spent time in a Russian jail. Well, now
Yeah,
she's,
next Olympics.
yeah, the next Olympics. But
So somebody posted that they should exchange to Russia Alex Jones for her.
I mean, that's a good idea. That's a good
Oh.
idea.
Any comment, Phil? No.
He just paid $4 million, and
Well,
now
he's not through paying.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
wait
I know.
tomorrow.
I know.
There's still
And what-
that's only punitive. That's only actual damages. There's punitive
Right.
damages coming up next. And
Tomorrow, I think.
He's got
Yeah.
he supposedly has $160 million.
That's
And he should have to get rid of all of that.
Yeah.
you know,
And then be handed a gun. And
Well,
if he
just
doesn't
give-
rob a
give
bank,
him-
he'll kill himself. for
give him a
lucky.
Big Mac. He's doing it to himself now.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, but anyway, you know, I just these companies, the way they do business these days, you know, and then they're all touchy feely about it. You know, like I was doing this chat with this person online at Verizon. And said, "Hope you're having a nice day. What can I do for you?" Well, I'd have a nicer day if you didn't send me a bill for $301.
It was probably a bot.
Yeah.
I bet you were talking to a bot. Probably wasn't even a real person.
Oh no, it was a real person. She got me my whole bill, showed it to me, showed me what it would be next month, and then gave me the wonderful news. I've got great news for you. What do you have great news for me? Well, you've got unlimited cloud, and you're only going to pay $5 a month for it. And
Don't
wait
we
a minute, was
have
I paying the
unlimited-
what?
Don't we have unlimited cloud storage on Amazon through Prime?
No,
I've never used it.
No, I
but
don't think so. No, it's limited.
Yeah, you can store unlimited photos on the cloud.
I would say you're wrong. Okay.
Some, but it's not unlimited.
Wait a minute. Amazon Cloud Storage.
Yeah.
Cloud storage.
Might be
Okay.
photos.
Oops. Storage. Okay. And push button. Here it comes up. Cloud storage, free cloud storage in the cloud.
Yeah.
And you get 12 free months, but it's not. What is it? Startups. Oh, this is AWS. No, you don't want AWS.
No.
I have AWS, believe it or not, because I use it for the website. Let me see here, but I don't pay anything because I pay a certain amount of money. It's very cheap. And consequently, under a certain amount, they don't charge you. It's free. But anyway, is Amazon Cloud free for Prime members? Prime and non-Prime member subscribers will receive 5 gigabytes of free cloud storage.
5 gigs.
Yeah. Well, you know how many gigs this show is when I record it, like I'm doing
6
right now?
gigs.
No, 3.3 gigs. So, it's not a lot of storage space. But
I thought it was.
the space can be used for files, including photos, documents, videos, Excel, etc. For Prime member, the subscription fee is $12.99 a month, and plus any applicable taxes. But it didn't say how much you're getting. If you, well, anyway, it was called Amazon Drive at one point, I think.
So your $5 for unlimited is not so bad.
Oh no! Look, it's not terrible, but I know why they're giving it to me, because once I got all my stuff up in the cloud, I'm going to quit Verizon? I don't think so. So I would still rather have something that I have control over,
Yeah.
Plus, there is no cloud. I find that amazingly dumb, don't you find that? Well, where's the cloud? I keep saying, hey, it's up
out
there.
the window.
It's up there in the air, and it's the closest thing we have in the area of the internet to God, because it's in the cloud. It's up there with God. My files are being watched very carefully by God.
Sure. Sure they
I'd
are.
like to find some sort of good additional way of storing photos. I've got
Called a hard drive.
I've got 72 terabytes of storage in my Drobo. I don't use that much, but Drobo just went bankrupt, and so
Oh, Jesus! No.
So that's
Hey, wait a minute! Look, there's Adrian.
Yeah, so where
There's
are your
Adrian.
pictures?
Hi, Adrian. How you doing? Come on over. Come on over.
Come on.
The heck with your father.
Take Daddy's chair. It's okay.
Sit in the chair and be part of the citizen panel.
she's asking permission.
Jeff,
Jeff,
asking the cat.
my photos are on the Drobo.
Yeah.
But
Yes, you
if
can.
something happens to it, I don't know what
Yeah.
whether I can retrieve them.
What's up, Adrian? No, you got to turn the microphone on and talk to us.
Oh, she I bet she
I
can
bet
do
she
it.
knows exactly where to go.
I bet she can do it. Oops, I better
Oops,
go
she
now.
just downloaded
Yeah.
the newest virus, Brian. Sorry.
Yeah, no, she just got her father thrown out of another thing like
TikTok.
TikTok. Yeah.
You ever notice that those reels and TikToks and things, when you're watching them do a hack, and they say, "Oh yeah, watch this. This is the best hack you can do." And then when they get to the thing that's actually the hack, no, it stops. It's the end of the thing, and you don't see the result. Have you ever noticed that?
I have no
Yes.
idea what you're talking about.
Oh, Jeff does. When on these reels, I'll watch and they'll say, "Oh, if you do this hack, put a sock over a can and wet it and do this, and then it gets to the end of the reel and you don't get the punchline.
They got to advertise to you, free advertisement.
Is that like TikTok? You mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
talking
TikTok
about.
never finishes stuff. The
No,
guys,
they don't
the
finish.
guy skiing down the hill with and it's a long drop, and before he gets to the bottom, it restarts again.
Done.
Yeah.
There's no end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The middle.
I want to see the punchline.
Yeah.
No punchline.
Yeah. I know there's no punchline on these things.
But
How can they get away with that?
because they own the
Oh,
they
crap.
own the company. Okay. Yeah.
So talking about the January 6th hearing thing, a friend of mine said, "Do you
Well,
believe?"
who was talking about the January 6th hearings thing?
That's changing the
No,
topic.
that's the way. Yeah, that's the way he changes the topic. He doesn't want to know that I talked to Jack today. But go ahead.
Oh no, I'm sorry. Well, this is just funny. This Republican friend of mine
Alan?
says it's a kangaroo court.
Yeah.
Kangaroo
called-
court.
Will somebody decide who's going to talk?
Yeah, go ahead, Alan.
Oh, thanks. Since I was told I could talk.
No, you weren't told you could talk. You just started talking.
Since it's a kangaroo court, and I said, isn't it funny that the only people that are being interviewed in this kangaroo court happen to be Republicans?
What do you mean? I don't understand what you're talking about.
The January 6th hearings, they're only interviewing Republicans.
Well, you're kind of right. Yeah. Yeah.
Why wouldn't it? It wouldn't be a kangaroo court if it was fair.
No, but what he's saying is that the people who are testifying and telling their side of the story and whatever are all mostly Republicans.
Yeah, because there were no Democrats sitting with Trump during the
Well, right.
the issue.
Insurrection.
Right.
Right.
But
Did you say you got an erection?
Direction.
Something that you can't get anymore. So
Yeah,
I'm
well,
told.
Next time you get
what's
cancer.
Ray doing? It looks like he's redecorating.
Looks like he's doing mime or something.
Put my wallpaper up.
That-
He's fixing up his.
I have
plant.
no idea what the
Sorry.
He's doing the priest.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. But you're kind of like every other frame.
You know, Ray said
I'm
last.
at the frame.
Yeah.
You're spotty, but
My
Ray said
video
last-
or my audio?
both.
Video. Your audio's fine.
How weird.
Oh, now the audio's okay. Ray was said to me last night that he went to China in 1992 and wasn't followed by any handlers or anything like that.
Right.
Remember we
What
talked
has this
about
got to
that
do
last
with the
night.
January 6th thing, talking about changing the
You know, I
subject?
don't know if we would be today. I mean, I can't say because I'm not over there. What I did like about China, I love the people. I just love the people, and I love the country. The country's
They make good food,
amazingly
too.
beautiful country, you know. And I saw some of the most beautiful,
Scenes.
you know.
Well,
What's
when
the
I
word
went
I'm
there in
looking?
1992, the people were a pain in the ass, and it was not fun.
What year were you there?
1992.
Yeah, that's still back in the days where Beijing was nothing but dirt roads.
Yeah, they had a
Yeah.
McDonald's that a Pizza Hut I got really ill at. They had two different currencies. Everyone tried to rip you off all the time.
You
It-
eat at the highest
By the
class
time I
place.
got there, you
Yeah,
know,
well,
Beijing was.
There weren't any restaurants other than Chinese restaurants where they had like monkeys in cages outside and stuff.
No. When I went
When I
there,
was there.
when I was there, which was maybe about 18 years later,
Yeah.
all that had changed.
Oh, I'm sure.
All
Yeah.
that had changed.
I mean, I enjoyed it.
monkeys
after I
weren't
got
in the
used to
cage.
it.
It was becoming a very sophisticated country. But
No, when
you-
I was there, it was not
You
sophisticated.
get out into the
anyway.
country. You get out into the country like I did to Guilin, for instance, as an example.
That's
Go
where I
down the,
stayed for a week in Guilin.
did you go down the Lee River?
Yes.
Isn't that the
in
most
a fishing boat? In a fishing boat with a bicycle that broke and we had to ride it back, and I
Yeah.
had one pedal.
Was that not one of the most beautiful pieces of scenery you've ever visited in your
Totally
life?
beautiful.
Yeah.
Except I was like this the whole time because the roof was like this fishing
Oh,
boat.
we took this boat. They had There were
Look at
so
those
many
big
boats
boats.
going down this river, touring down this river. They were like you could see down the river, and you to the horizon. There were all these boats following each other. These
Yeah.
long
Yeah,
boats.
they had those.
Serve lunch and do the whole thing. And man, I'm telling you, it was just gorgeous. It lived up to everything I thought it would live up to. And if anybody wants to see it, go on YouTube and look up my China thing, and we have the whole thing of the Lee River. You'll just be amazed by what you see.
Oh, I've seen that video. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's where I was there, and we stayed in Yangsha, which was this little village that Jimmy Carter stayed in when he visited. And the hotel I remember was $2 a night.
Well, the 100 won bill
Yeah.
has on one side a picture of Mao, of course, as all bills do in China, and the other side is a bunch of these casks of mountains, and it was
Yeah.
literally the Lee River that they have on the back of the $100 yuan,
Yeah.
or 100 yuan bill. It's not $100, worth about $20. You know.
I'm supposed
They
to
have,
go
these,
there.
they have these mountains that are like spikes, and
Yeah, yeah.
go for thousands of miles.
They call them casks,
Yeah.
and they're amazing. What were you saying, Brian?
Besides, Ray's volume is way loud. Ray, sorry.
Because I can't get anything right.
Sorry. I'm supposed to go. I'm supposed to go. Oh.
Two, huh?
What?
Somebody's back there.
Oh, somebody's. What is that? Wait a minute. Hold on a second. Let me just turn you guys off for a moment and see if it happens now. No, now I got rid of it.
Okay.
That doesn't ha- that
I was
doesn't
supposed to go to
happen. Yeah.
China. Supposed to go to China in about 3 months.
Really? Are you looking forward to it?
Better than India. Yes.
The problem with China now is that it probably is not the country I remember that it was. Okay, it's probably not that beautiful. I mean, it's just that beautiful, but it's just probably a little rougher. You may be followed. You may be suspect because you're an American. Okay, you know. So I think things have changed. Although you're a businessman who's doing business with the Chinese, right? You're opening up a plant there or something.
With the government. Yep.
Yeah.
Does the government get a ownership percentage then in the company? I understood that they'd have to own 51%. Is that
No, not own, but we have to have. Yeah, there's a formula. There's a formula. Hold on. There's a formula we have to use that we're using of Chinese business.
do you have to give them your technology as well?
No, they already stole our technology.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's funny. There's something that's like our cartridge. Our cartridge is very unique, and there's one over there.
They reversed engineered it, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah.
a long time ago.
Well,
But
here's
have
the
to have
thing.
so much
Phil
business.
makes out like that's a bad deal, but when I was in Spain for the first time, and this was when Franco was still there, and I was a long time ago. If you wanted to open a company in Spain, it had to have 50% ownership by a Spanish money, and 50%. So they would take companies like Fiat. If you wanted to build Fiat there, you had to have Fiat of Spain, but it was called Fiat. Yeah, it was called Fiat. And there were a lot of other companies that were like, Levi's of Spain or whatever. And any of those companies, 50% ownership had to be Spanish money.
Yeah, we have to have a certain percentage of our stuff coming from there, like material wise.
Right. So I mean, the fact that they're doing that to his company in China isn't terrible. It was a practice that was done by many countries to protect their economy.
I didn't think it was a good practice anyway. Yeah, we don't do that to other companies that come
And maybe we should
to do business in the United States.
Yeah, but most of the time they open up an American version of it so they can sell stock in it. So, we don't have to make that request. But yes, Alan.
My brother-in-law traveled
Too
to.
loud, too loud.
Now your mic is too loud.
I'm done.
Darth Vader.
Damn it! Hold on.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll wait.
We'll wait.
Just
We got
sign
things
off.
to do.
Is mine okay now? Is
It's-
mine better?
Yeah,
Yes.
yours is fine.
Now you spread it to Alan.
Everybody,
That's best.
masturbate
That's
if you
better.
got them. Okay.
Is this better?
Yes, that's better.
Yes.
All right. So my
loud.
brother-in-law travels to China on business about 4 times a year, and now when he gets off the plane, before they'll let him through customs, he has to turn on all his electronics and shut off or disable the VPNs,
Okay.
virtual private networks,
Yeah.
because they don't.
And
want
he
you
turn
to-
it back on afterwards?
I don't know.
How do they know that when you get to the hotel, you don't turn your VPN back on?
I don't know. I don't know, but they're looking. They know that people can bring in news from foreign countries using a VPN, and I don't know.
Oh, I see. They don't want people. They don't want people in China getting outside information.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's the idea
I'm-
behind it.
Because when I
I'm
was
trying-
in China, there were certain things I could not access Facebook
Facebook,
in
yeah.
China.
Right.
Yeah.
right.
And that was 10 years ago.
He can't either. He
Yeah.
can't get on Facebook and social media while in China.
I wonder if
Even
he
on
can
a
get. I
company
wonder if they
laptop.
get YouTube over there, because I think I have seen that we do have some listeners in China.
Wow.
Very
No.
few, but nevertheless, listeners in China.
Funny thing you mentioned VPN. I was going to call Alan today and ask him a favor. I'm trying to buy a new monitor, and it's made in Japan, and everybody in the United States doesn't have this monitor. It's on back order. And so I went to ISO Japan trying to see if it was available for purchase, and I couldn't get in. So I was going to ask Alan to use his VPN, say that he's in Tokyo, and go to the ISO website, EIZO, and look up this monitor.
We can do it after the show.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
then say you're in Tokyo and you're trying to buy it, and then you want to buy it and have it sent to you in the United States.
Yeah.
The jig's up when you do that.
Well,
So
yeah,
what-
but I could see if it's available. It's not available anywhere in the States.
Why do you want this? Because you can't get it anywhere in the United States?
No, I've wanted an ISO monitor for a while. Mine's 8-9 years old. It's
How old is this? How much is this monitor?
$2,500.
Yikes!
It's made by Montgomery Ward.
Yikes!
That-
If you
It's,
want to really
an
throw your
ISO
money down the toilet, get one of the new Apple monitors.
No, this is much better.
So
This is what professional photographers use.
So one of the things VPNs is nice for, if you're going to travel on airfare in the United States, if you're looking at a ticket to say to go from here to Chicago and back, where my family's originally from, $800 round trip. If I take the VPN and put it in El Paso, Texas, it's $350 round trip. And I use my address and everything, but you're buying it from El Paso, and people don't have the money they have in the Bay Area.
Don't you get caught? Isn't the airlines onto that trick?
I haven't traveled in a
Well,
while. But I've-
what you can do, for instance, there were shows on Netflix in Europe that aren't on here.
Right.
Okay, so if you wanted to watch a certain show, you could use your VPN to sign on to Netflix. Use your Netflix account because you could say you were traveling, and because the signal is technically coming from England or London or whatever, you could then watch the show.
So there's things on YouTube videos that say we've taken this off because of privacy rights. So I take my VPN and I go out of country to Denmark or something like that where they have no privacy act, and go right on and watch the video.
Yep.
You have to make sure you get the right VPN. Like some of them, the VPN companies have to actively figure out which IPs.
Yeah, I use Nord,
It-
Nord
let-
VPN.
I use that too.
Good stuff.
Well, I don't use it that much. I find it annoying. I find it annoying because it slows
Slow.
down my throughput.
Yeah.
You
A
know.
little bit.
No, not a
does.
little bit, a lot.
Mine cuts about a third out of my speed.
Well, I mean, there is a speed problem there. For people who don't know, let's ask Tony here. Tony, what's a VPN?
I know Shecky has it. I don't exactly know what it is exactly.
It's meant to keep you out of his loop. That's what it's meant for.
Well, I just said the 10.
You should know this, Tony. It's a very pretty nun. Very pretty nun.
Mm-hmm.
Is that
Yeah.
Alex? Is it something that looks like that goes like a USB piece that goes into the computer? I might have seen it.
No, somebody try to explain VPN to Tony, and therefore, by describing it to Tony, you'll be describing it also to every member of our audience that doesn't really know what it is.
Virtual private network.
Oh, the one that knows.
But I'm not going to
about
ask you to tell us
technology.
what it is because you don't know, Phil.
I used to have NordVPN. It expired, and I didn't renew
but
it.
you
'cause it
don't
was
know what
too
it
slow.
does exactly. Yes.
So we have Global Protect VPN. So every time I'm on this computer, my laptop from work, I have to sign on this because we have a lot of stuff that's
What is it encrypted like almost?
So-
all the properties, you know.
Is that why you're
That's
coming
part
to
of
us
what
from
it does.
Okay,
Uzbekistan?
let Alan explain VPN to the
Yeah.
people who don't know what we're talking
So
about.
VPN
He'll just claim it's a Trump conspiracy.
No, but you never know.
Are you done cutting me off, Phil?
No, just keep. I'll keep it up.
VPN stands for Virtual Private Network, and so when you're at home and you log onto your computer with AT&T, Verizon, Comcast, Xfinity, or whatever, somebody on the other end, where you go to some other website, knows almost exactly where you're at. There's an IP address, Internet Protocol address. That's the thing in the address bar that you type. Verizon.com. In there's a number behind that, and so they can track you down. So what VPNs are used for is for to stop people from tracking where you're
Well,
located.
it obscures that IP address.
Obscures that, but it also a lot of VPNs, including Nord, has some it encrypts what you're sending, and probably that's why Brian's company uses it. VPNs were used by the government and companies before they started becoming readily available to us consumers, because you don't want to be transmitting private company information over a hotel website that somebody else can be spying on you, and the VPN stops the spying pretty much.
Yeah.
You understand, Tony?
Yeah, and what it does, it also makes you be able to associate your IP address with places in foreign countries.
How did that guy who scams the scammers? How does he get past the VPNs of the scammers to be able to get on?
They may not have VPN.
They may not.
Really?
Yeah.
You'd think that they would.
So it creates a virtual Tony.
Virtual
Virtual tunnel.
Can I ask you a question?
So instead of if you're going to comicbook.com or whatever, instead of going directly there, it takes you to London and then comes back
So
to
redirects
comicbook.com or whatever you're going
And
to.
anybody who tries to find out where you are, it'll come up that you're in England.
Can I
Absolutely.
ask you a question then?
Yeah.
When you said when you go to a hotel, Alex, you know what I do at the hotel when I went to the Baltimore Comic Con? I didn't pay for the internet service in the room. I used my iPhone as a hotspot. Can they still trip? Is that? I figure that's safer using my phone as a hotspot and then just connect to my phone to surf.
It is safer than using the hotel.
That's what I was doing. When I travel, that's what I usually do in the hotel.
But when you're traveling, you should get a VPN for your
that sounds,
iPhone.
if you get a chance, send me information on it, Alan.
Yeah, I don't totally understand the workings of VPN. I just know that when I go to my VPN and I say, okay, I want to get a signal in Sweden.
We recently we had really good protection in this country against people spying on us, Tony, and where we were going. It hides where you're going, and criminals use it too. But you can go different places on the internet. You can download porn. You can do whatever the heck you want.
Yeah.
But it hides.
You can also
where you're
download
actually-
movies and TV shows and things
You
like
know,
that.
if you're on Amazon,
Then we had. Let me finish, please, Phil. And then what we had is we had a president who's no longer president, a one-term president, that screwed up the internet by making
Give up the ghost already.
Wait a minute. Let him
But
finish.
it's true, Phil.
He
know,
what?
I was
He did what?
when I had the
Hold on a second.
VPN,
Hold on a second. He did what?
Trump reversed the net neutrality is what it's called.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And the net neutrality stopped your internet company from following you around and knowing where you're at. And Trump told the FCC, get rid of it.
Take care of it.
Yeah. Yeah. I
It was
remember.
called net neutrality.
what I wanted to say was about a VPN is, let's say you go on Amazon. You know that you couldn't sign into Amazon if you were on a VPN.
By the way, everybody out there, it's VPN, not VPM, like Phil says. It's correct. Virtual private network.
I meant N.
Well, that's
I just
not what
mistyped
people are
it.
hearing.
I mistyped it.
This is why Alex has me explain it, not you.
Yeah.
No, he wants to get you off of Trump.
So do you have a little bit of an idea, Tony, of what it is?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah,
So
it
kind
would-
of like it's kind of like an encryption where they can't really eavesdrop on
Well,
you.
it also doesn't make
That's
it.
part of it.
It's not able to tap in to your IP address,
That's right.
I like that idea, not because
and your IP
Mhm.
address is like your own physical address. I have an IP address here. Okay.
Absolutely.
168 usually starts with what? Not 192, I think. Most
Something
of
like that.
Yeah.
It's a long number.
And
I
then
remember I had a static IP address, and then there's ones that they show up differently. And for my network, I needed to have one that was consistent.
I think
Which is
most
what a
IP
static
addresses.
IP is.
I think most IP
Consistent.
addresses now are static, aren't they? Yeah.
I'm not sure, but this was years ago when I first set up the network, had the network set up at the store, and I needed to have a static IP instead of one that was variable. I don't know what they called it.
So, Tony, you know that people in China, based on our conversation, and you probably know this before the conversation, people in China can't go on the internet and get Facebook or YouTube or whatever.
yeah.
So the Chinese governor puts constraints on the internet system within China. So what a VPN will allow you to do, and they don't allow their citizens to have VPNs, but what a VPN will allow you to do
Is
take and show that you're in England,
Yeah.
and then you can do everything you want.
Oh, say that you're in the United States and then get on Facebook.
Yeah, they
So
can see what's
one
going
of
on with the news.
one of the things that's really unique
But
about
you know what
your
was
work-
really strange when I was in China? I couldn't get onto Facebook. I
Same.
couldn't. Don't know if I could get onto YouTube or not. I couldn't. I don't think I could get onto Google, but I could get onto porn sites.
Was
That
Marjorie
was what was so
The
amazing.
man go to see his dirty movies. Don't let him see the news.
years ago,
No, no,
Alex,
right,
Yeah.
that's right.
Marjorie was calling in.
You're
It was
pretty
either
right.
from Hong Kong or from China,
She was in Hong
using.
Kong. Yeah.
Oh, it was Hong Kong, so that's why she was able to use her thing through Facebook. And
I think she could. I think someone, if they're in China right now,
Oh, you want-
for the various ways we have this program going out, they can probably, if they can get YouTube, they can see the program. If they know the address of the program on, say, Zoom, they probably could
in.
call the show. Yeah, you know. But if they, you know, I guess they don't want people to have VPN. I was talking to
now-
Marjorie. I was talking to Marjorie about this tonight, and I think the Chinese government is really stupid. And they're stupid in that they honestly believe that if they keep everybody tied down and they keep their ability to have access to outside information, that it's going to protect them. And I think it's just going to make people mad. And I think it's just going to cause worse situations. That if they were more open, like Deng Xiaoping, when he suddenly said, "Hey, we're going to do capitalism, and we're going to do this, we're going to do that," and the country freed up, things blossomed. Beijing was rebuilt. You know, I don't know if when you went there, Ray, if Deng Xiaoping was the premier at the time, but you know,
I think he.
yeah.
I think he was.
Yeah.
I think he was.
And
Yeah.
after Deng, it was wonderful, And then they got this new guy in, and he's an old hardliner. He believes he wants to be the next Mao. Okay? And they don't want anybody to threaten their power. And they're living in a time where they probably should learn that they should let people do what they want to do, because that's how the economy thrives. And that the best way that they're going to keep a strong hand on the country is by doing stuff. You know? Doing stuff.
The American way.
Yeah.
They can control them easier.
I said to the woman that was driving us around, I said, are you a communist? Do you belong to the Communist Party? And she says, no, I don't. And I said, well, you can't vote if you're not a member of the Communist Party. That's the way you get to vote. You just simply join the Communist Party and you get to vote. She said, nah, I just let them play their game as long as they leave us alone. Okay? Well, that's the key phrase here, as long as they leave us alone.
But they're not.
If they stop leaving people alone, things are going to get a little rotten in that country.
I want to know, people have been to Beijing. What happened to Peking? They wiped the whole city. No, but where's Peking?
Peking duck.
Peking.
Yeah, where's Peking?
Well,
hey, Alex, it was Deng Xiaoping when I was there, and I'll tell you, he was encouraging capitalism like I'd never seen. Everybody was selling something. That was part of the problem. Everybody. But you couldn't get away from people trying to sell you something, exchange currency. It was constant, no matter where you were. On the Great Wall of China, in the middle of the mountains. We hiked up to one of those pointy mountains, and there was a ex-monk up there selling soda pop. And he had an album of pictures of all the people that had sent him the photos when they visited him.
Yeah.
In Vietnam, they have like a big shopping area, and they actually had pictures of people that were dressed up, looking like a monk with their head shaved and everything. And it said in there, these are fake monks. So if you see these guys coming, so they,
what's interesting?
Bizarre. So what does it say? Oh, fake monks?
What's very interesting is there was a country that we were in a dire war with. I mean, it was amazing, the war. When did it end? I can't remember what year it ended in.
Which war?
What, Vietnam?
Yeah,
72?
Vietnam.
75?
Well, officially it was 74, 75.
Yeah.
But then we were there until like 78.
But we went in there and they were killing us and we were killing them, and it was horrible. And and all of a sudden Ho Chi Minh got to take over the country, which he was actually a good guy. He wasn't a bad guy. And now look what the result is. Brian has a lovely family, and his wife is Vietnamese. And does she remember the war at all?
No. She was born 1984.
See? I mean,
I had a friend.
I saw Ho Chi Minh.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
they have him in the mausoleum in the clear.
Oh, I saw Mao. I saw Mao. The stuffed
really?
Mao. Yeah. You go by, it's a little creepy.
Yeah, there's a huge line to go in, and this girl in front of us was on her cell phone, and the soldiers almost like yanked her because she kept talking on the cell phone. Everyone is like, you got to be respectful, and she kept yip. And,
but you go in and you go past it, and there he is. He's like, it's like you're looking at a wax dummy. It could have been Madame Tussauds. And I understand, at least with what they did with in Russia, in the Soviet Union at the time, when they had Lenin's tomb. Lenin was lying there looking much the same way, and you know how they kept him crisp? Every night when the people left.
Refrigerator?
No, the tomb literally would go down underground, and he would spend the night underground, like he was buried. And then in the morning, they press a button, and the thing would come back up. I think they did the same thing with Mao as well.
I heard it kept it at a lower temperature, like a refrigerator.
Yeah, but Mao's there, and I saw him. He's definitely dead. There's no question about it.
They're very quiet.
You know, talking about Vietnam, I have a friend that went there last month, and he showed me pictures. I tell you, the place is clean. It's inexpensive, and it was beautiful.
They have like where Tiffany's from. They have a nice river that goes through the city, and all paved with these nice statues, and they have signs there. If you see anybody soliciting around, to call this number, and the police will come and get them.
Well, the roadways. He had pictures of the roadways. The trucks go in one area, and then the cars and bicycles, I guess, go in the other area. And it was so organized.
Yeah, but they're getting too many cars there, I think, because the scooters is very, very fun, and now there's so many cars that are starting to get there, starting to get traffic. Where before you see all the videos of all the flow, and I love riding scooters there. It's so fun. It's a blast.
Yeah. But I mean, you take a place like that, and we're at total peace with that country.
Yeah.
It was a country. By the way, North Vietnam, had a constitution, and it was based on our constitution. That's how much Ho Chi Minh studied in this country.
Absolutely.
He loved America, but he didn't love what America was doing to him at the time, and that's why we took a friend and turned him into an enemy. That's not good, So, whatever.
Yeah.
And then to see all the, when every time I'd go into driving through countryside and stuff, and you see those areas, and I know there's much worse. Those 17-year-old American kids are sitting in, in these jungles, where they've never been out before, and the humidity and everything, trying to fight. It's really sad.
Yeah. But we managed to turn people into enemies that we really shouldn't. And when that war was over, the country improved, and eventually Brian met his wife, and they had this lovely child that comes in to the program every now and then.
Speaking of that, she has to say goodbye or I get in trouble every night.
Yeah. You got to say goodbye.
In Vietnam, they have a beer. I hate beer, but this beer is really good. It's a number. It's like 39 or something. Are you familiar with it?
Heineken?
No, it's a Vietnamese beer.
Vietnamese always drink Heineken. No, there's a few of them.
Phil always has to prove how much he knows about culture.
Yeah.
I like the beer. I would buy it again.
Yeah. Oh, well, look at that.
Go to Bevmo or around the corner. You can probably buy it there.
Look at that. The show is almost over, and look who dropped by to say hello. What is she doing to your face?
She's about ready to poke another
What
eye
is
out.
that thing?
It's a doll she got from somewhere. I don't know.
Burger King.
Burger King.
Burger King? They're giving those away at Burger King?
Yeah. I guess.
On the outside of the package, it says, "Don't
Doesn't that look like a sexist? It looks like a woman housekeeper. Doesn't it look?
Now, if
Very
that wasn't sexist.
This arm.
It's called 33, and one bottle here is $12.
That's a lot for one bottle.
He's still talking about beer. We're watching the doll,
I'm listening to your Alex Bennett shows, and you had the two kids on there, Coleman and
Yes.
Emily.
Coleman and
Remember that?
Emily. Yep.
Yeah, I'm listening to those right now. Yeah.
Those kids were wonderful. They were wonderful.
Yeah, they're pretty.
I wonder if
pretty
they're
cool.
still
But they
alive.
got nothing over. They got nothing over Adrian. Okay.
Yeah,
Anyway.
it'd be funny because some caller called and said, "This is great because I can actually listen to the show in the morning with my kids since you have the kids on." And everyone-
Yeah. Anyway, I won't say how pretty she's getting now, but she gets prettier. But I mean, she's grown up on this show.
Machina, Adrian, inside beautiful or outside beautiful? Which is most important?
Inside.
See, that's what you're good daddy.
Everything I teach you.
Hey,
I learned
listen. Let's say goodnight to Alan. Let's say goodnight to Jeff. Let's say goodnight to Brian and Adrian. Let's say goodbye to Ray. Thank you, Ray. Thank you, Phil, and thank you, Tony. All of you, give a big wave goodbye. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to give you a big wave goodbye back. There they go, ladies and gentlemen. That's our citizen panel right there. Hey, go away now. Jack isn't on next, and the reason he's not on next is because, well, Jack is recuperating from the operation that he had yesterday on his spine, and he is on the mend, but it'll be a while, so just hang in there because we miss him, and I'm sure you do too. Anyway, that's it for tonight. I'm Alex Bennett, and we'll be back in tomorrow. Same time, same station in life. In the meantime, as always, if you see her, tell her I love her, okay? Good night, everybody.